Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another trade recap from Monday, 6th of July. Before we start with the trade recap, I just wanted to let you know because I got a lot of DMs on TikTok lately and Instagram. The Discord is completely free because I have shown it in my last two videos in the beginning, and all you see here is completely free. It's in my bio. You can just join for free. It's a lot of people that are just trying to hang out with traders. So if you're interested, make sure to join. I post all of my trades here as well. Um, the main reason we are here though today is how I made money today in the market and how I longed the market today. Um, First of all, it's very important to understand why my bias was bullish. And what I always do before I come into a new week is look at what Friday did. So I basically, just to simplify it, I'm looking for power of three models and basically only power of three models that go into the higher time frame direction. So I only, if higher time frame is bullish, I only care about bullish power of threes. If higher time frame is bearish, I only care about bearish AMDs. So when we had this low down here, we did take out before previously. I don't have it on this chart because I changed my chart colors, but I have it here. We took out many protected previous protected lows. So we came down here, this protected low stayed protected. So I was still kind of hesitating on the bias, but we took out this low back here inside of a 50-minute gap. So once we came down here and we broke structure to the upside, I wanted to see if this low is protected or if we want to grind higher. So when we go here and basically we recap here, you don't know if this is just a retrace to go lower or if this is going to go higher, right? So seeing this, what we are looking for, like we have this order block formed here, and in real time we don't know that this is a protected low. So I say it again. Sorry, actually at the wrong. I'm actually in the wrong place. So my bad. So when we came down here and we broke structure to the upside, we have this micro accumulation here. So what I want to see is, do we come down here, sweep out this low to then distribute higher and wait for this low to be protected? Or as we see here, we have this micro accumulation. We come down, tap this order block here. There is no liquidity down here. If there would be liquidity, we would come here, sweep this out, and then distribute higher. So for me, after this little AMD here, or accumulation, manipulation, distribution higher, this low becomes protected for me. So I actually had a trade set up here, as you can see, because I was waiting for the next. It's not really textbook because I wanted actually to see this low being taken, because I liked lows being taken that are created out of nothing. So basically in this gap here would be a perfect engineered low. We took out this piece of structure here though in this like micro accumulation again. We had this OB confirming it with the break of structure. If we would have come down after this candle, I would have loved to target these highs, but we never got the entry. But yeah, so after we understood that we started to print bullish AMDs, bullish power of threes, all I'm doing is basically looking for buying moves. Confirming that as well if you go back to this chart, because I have too much on the other one. If we go to the higher time frame, what I wanted to see is basically, if we go to the 1 hour, if we had during London, if we draw our fib from the low to this high, we had the golden pocket here inside of a 1 hour gap and also inside of a 4 hour gap being respected hard. Unfortunately, it was during London, which I don't trade, so I wanted to see just continuations higher up into these overnight highs that were for significant here. So if we go back to my chart, we can see that, yeah, we had this kind of accumulation here, as I said, into this golden pocket with this order block. If we tapped it again, you should have longed here in pre-market. We never did. After confirming this is a protected low, by the way, after here, I don't expect price to come here, but what I'm watching is, again, we have this accumulation here, then we start accumulating up. So as I said before, we have here this engineered low inside of this, or basically under the 50-minute gap. which basically started this whole accumulation move. So it's engineered. So at one point, I'm expecting this low to be taken, which exactly at market open happened. So my game plan was perfectly on, which was really great, but we had an entry problem that I'm going to explain you soon. First, I want you to understand why I did not want any of these lows to be taken. These lows would have been fine for me. I would have even considered being fine coming down here and did its OB, but I wanted to see a reaction out of here. Why? Because this low here is engineered and it just looks the best for me personally, how I like to see it to start reacting from here. I would like to see a V shape as we did from here. It would be still valid if we come down here. If we start sweeping anything, as I said, under this protected low and coming down here, it might, in my eyes, dump lower. So any reaction above here was valid for me. So when we start seeing this, I usually want to see an OB. As I said, my entry model is an order block usually, but the 1 minute candle wicked so hard that basically every time frame created an impossible order block to enter. So what is my second version of how I like to enter? It's a 5 minute rejection block. If I enter rejection blocks, it's only above the 5 minute or basically only the 5 minute time frame. When I mark this out though, as we can see, like it's way too big. It's 60 points. So what I usually do is either enter off the CE. I do enter off the CE when it lines up with a order block that we have created somewhere here, which kind of does, but again, the wick here, even here, is way too big for me to consider that. So what I did was just drawing the fib from the low to the high of the wick, sorry, different direction, and I just entered off the golden pocket, as you can see here, just to have actually a little bit lower. I had a 20-point stop loss exactly, something like this, and I targeted the overnight highs, as I said before, as my overall draw. As you can see, perfect reaction here after the 5 minute close. We left even these basically triple relative equal highs. I went break even, as I said last time, for all like ICT traders. Once we inverse this 1 minute gap here, after we came here and inverse this is where I go break even, because for ICT traders, if they enter here of the inversion, they're going to have their stop loss under here. So if this sweeps this out, it's probably going to be a loser for me too, because we're going to sweep all of these lows, because we are anticipating this to be a protected low down here, confirming this with the next power of 3 in the bullish direction. So this is where I go break even, have my target up here. Let me just connect paper trade. I took this with 1 mini. I took it on an eval, it's important to say, on my funded future evals, and made $4,300. Because I was above, I was just trying to go crazy with my another trade on another eval, but what I did basically, which is completely out of my model, was trying to short from up here. I was trying to put a short from a 5 minute rejection block here, but you can see we wicked out this wick before we went lower. So on another eval with like 5 micros, I did $200 risk, I'm pretty sure, or 180 even. I got stopped out. My guy Alex, one of my good friends, also being in the Discord, as you can see here, he did take a trade up here and he basically top ticked it somewhere up here. If you want to know how he did that, he's gonna upload a video on his YouTube too. He got break even, I'm gonna say that, but he printed basically 115 points. He just doesn't take partials too much and doesn't really stop, so he got break even here, but he was able to top tick after the sweep up here. If you want to know how, you can also watch his video. In my video, we're gonna go over this long because my bias is long. I'm gonna long until, as I said, we take out some protected highs that I have marked out here, or we hit some important standard deviation level. If you want me to go over that in more like a specific video, you can also tell me that in the comments. I'm going to go over that as well. But for now, I did not use any standard deviations for this trade. All that I was looking for in this trade, I explained it to you here. I hope some of you took maybe some good advice at least, or I hope it helped many people to understand why I took this, because in the Discord, when I just post a trade, it's kind of hard to understand many times. I hope this helps. If you want to know anything like else, why you didn't do this, why you didn't do that, why you did that, just ask me in the comments, ask me in my Discord. I'm gonna answer all the questions, and maybe I'm gonna start going over the questions from the last video in the next video before I do the trade recap. Maybe that could be a system too, but I'm gonna go over all of them. So just let me know if you didn't understand anything, it's all fine. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I see you in the next trade recap. Thank you for listening.